All right, hello and welcome to another session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be taking you through class. Let's go ahead and come to standing. All right, so standing up nice and tall, we're going to start with some ankle rolls. Go ahead and place one foot down, pull up out of your midline. We're going to practice some balance here. Lean against the wall or a chair as needed, and we're going to start rolling the ankle around. Welcome, Jean, about 5 times each direction. 5 times to the right, and then we'll flip it around about 5 times to the left. Let's get some good movement through that ankle. Let's go ahead and switch feet. Place the other foot down, lifting up through the midline. Lift that other foot off the ground and really focus shoulders down out of your ears, pulling those shoulder blades together. And then rotate the other way. 5 times the other way. Very good. And then from there, once you finish those, go ahead and just some side steps and arm swings, opening through the shoulders. There you go. Shoulders back and down, rotating your palms forward. Very good. From there, we're going to go into some windmills. Set the feet nice and wide, taking those arms out to the side. And you're going to focus to have a long spine here, but hinging at the hips, reaching over to the opposite leg. Sending those hips back. And just gradually building into it, reaching a little bit lower each time. Nice, smooth breathing. Exhale as you stand. Couple more each side. Very good. Go ahead and bring it back to center. From here, we're going to interlace the hands. Stretch nice and tall up to overhead. And now we're going to make some nice big sweeping circles, reaching down and around. As you come up, kind of look up towards the ceiling. Engage those glutes as you look up. Kind of send those hip circles, hips forward just a little bit. 2 to 3 one way, and then we'll reverse. When you're ready, take it around the other way. Pulling that midline in. We're not quite as strict here as far as long spine, just starting to get a little bit more stretch into that backside, seeing what feels good to you. All right, fantastic. From here, we're going to go behind the back stretch. So nice and wide through the feet, interlace the hands behind you, and extend out those elbows. Watch to keep those ribs down, eyes looking straight ahead. And then from here, you can take into a forward fold. Ground into the feet, send those hips back, pull the arms up to overhead. Couple nice deep breaths into the back of the rib cage. One more breath here. And go ahead and release. Good job. Shake out those arms. Come on up to standing. And we're going to go into a march. So shoulders back, alternating the legs. Standing nice and tall. There you go. And you can keep it with this march. If you want a little bit faster, you can take it into a skip. So adding a little hop to it. Nice. From here, we're going to go from some skips or march into some step or jump jacks. 2, 1, and here we go. Step it out or regular jumping jacks, getting some blood flow going. Nice. I'm going to stick to mostly stepping today. We had quite a bit of snow around recently. My heel's a little bit sore from hiking in the snow. So taking a little break from some jumping. Very good, everybody. 10 more seconds. Opening through the shoulders. Very good. 2, 1, and go ahead and release those arms. From here, we're going to go into our skier step. Place your left foot forward, step your right foot back, and start with that right arm forward. Then you're going to drive into your left, drive the opposite leg up and forward. Step it back, drive through. Good job. Eyes straight ahead, just like a little quarter lunge. Keeping that front foot planted, shin vertical. Very good. Back and up. 10 more seconds, and then we'll switch sides. Back, drive tall. Good. One more. And in between, we're going to go some hip circles. Hands on the hips. Go ahead and circle around. Nice and smooth. After about 3 or so one way, go ahead and reverse directions, taking it around the other way. Very good. So from here, we're going to place that opposite foot down. So now the right foot steps forward, left foot steps back, starting with that left arm forward. Eyes up, looking straight ahead whenever you're ready. Driving that front foot, drive that left knee nice and high. Step it back, straight up. Long stride back. Good job. 20 more seconds. Front heel planted, shin vertical. And you can start to think about activating the arch of that front foot as well by pushing that big toe down. Good, and breathe. Breathe in, drive out. Good, one more. And relax, fantastic. Let's take a quick drink of water, and then we're gonna go through that sequence one more time, starting back with either the march or the skip. Everybody's gonna change the view again. All right. All right, let's start here in about 5 seconds. Standing nice and tall. 2, 1, here we go. Either march or add that little skip. I'm gonna go about 30 seconds of each. Very good. If you're doing the regular march, if you want to do the march and punch, you can do that with the skip as well, your choice. Good job. 10 more seconds. Breathe, get that heart rate going. Increase the body temperature. 2, 1, and stepping it into a step jack or jump jack. Good. Or dance, maybe you have some good music playing on your end. And there's a couple different ways we can do that step jack, right? We can step side to side, or we can just step alternating feet out to the side. Whatever you prefer. 10 more seconds. We're gonna go to our skier's lunge next. 2, 1, let's start with that left foot forward. Place that left foot down, eyes straight ahead. Right foot steps back. Right arm reaches forward. Drive that left foot, drive that right knee up. Long stride back, driving it up. Good. Work on that balance as well, gripping that toe down, driving through that front heel. Back, up. Exhale as you drive that knee through. Breathe in to step back. Good. Less than 10. 2, 1, and let's take it right to the other side. Place that right foot down, left foot back, starting with that left arm reaching forward, and here we go. Driving through, stepping it back. Wonderful. Last little bit here, we're going to take it down to the floor next. About 10 more seconds. Feeling that outer glute waking up. My mind's starting to burn a little bit. 2, 1, and release. Great job. All right, if you want to take it down to the floor, we're going to have the option if you want to have a chair or a bench or a box nearby to elevate the feet for some glute activation. Otherwise, if you don't have a bench, it's not a problem. Just an option. Let's go ahead and come on down. We're going to start with our quad stretch. So coming on to the side, pick a side you want to start on. We're going to prop up on the elbow, grab that top foot, pull that heel towards the glute. And breathe. Good job. About 10 more seconds. It's kind of one of those mornings that I had lots of time, and then all of a sudden time started slipping away. I was like, oh, time to go. 2, 1, go ahead and release and switch sides. Prop that elbow, grabbing that top foot. And here we go. Nice smooth holds. The pros and cons of working from home. Sometimes you lose track of time. You don't have that commute to prepare. Glad to see you ladies here today. Let's go 10 more seconds here. So our goal here is to get that heel to ideally touch that glute or come close to it. Go ahead and release. Now let's take it onto your back. Couple stretches for that low back, and then we'll get into some glute activation. So set those shoulder blades back and down. Let's start by pulling both knees into the chest and just gently rock yourself side to side. That's feeling good there. You can take your arms out to the side about 90 degrees, both knees together. Use your midline to kind of control both legs to one side, looking over the opposite shoulder. As far as you're comfortable there, and then up and across. Same thing, other side. Turn your head, peer the other way. Pretty common here to have a couple little releases through that low back. Just go through that range that feels good to you. Back and forth, 2 to 3 times each side. All right, so we're gonna get ready for some glute bridges, about 45 seconds. I'm gonna do 3 variations, starting with my feet on the ground, like a traditional glute bridge. Then we'll go elevated, and then we'll go single leg glute bridge march. So if anybody wants to advance, if you know those other movements, you can. And then we're gonna be doing some side leg raises. So something a little bit different than those of you who have been here before. It'll be 3 rounds total. So getting our glutes and hips activated for this next circuit. So whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and bend the knees, feet flat on the ground to start for this regular variation. Pull that chin in, and we're just driving those hips up and forward, firing the glutes. We're gonna work for 45 seconds here. Good habit to kind of pause in that top position, really get the glute backside to fire. And a great time to just relax those eyes closed. Close the eyes, center in on your breathing. Up and pause, down and relax. 15 more seconds, nice and smooth. Good job. Let's go one more, up and hold, 2, 1, and release. Fantastic. Go ahead and roll on to either side. And you can either stay up on the elbow or you can extend that arm out. We're simply going to have the leg nice and straight, and we're just going to raise it straight up and down. Just some leg raises here. Ready? And here we go. Just nice and smooth. Whatever direction feels good for you as far as how far. But just nice and controlled. Feel that side of the hip activating. We're going to go about 30 seconds here. Coming up with control and down with control. Halfway through. Very good. Very nice. Go 2 to 3 more. Kind of point that toe as well. Think about like elongating that leg, like elongating out of the hip. 2, 1, and release. Very good. Go ahead and flip yourself around. We're gonna go same thing, other side. So outstretched or up on the elbow, and whenever you're ready, and point that toe. Think about elongating out of the hip. Moving with control. So waking up those stabilizer muscles. Moving the leg through a little bit different ranges of motion than we do in daily life. 10 more seconds. Good job. And 2, 1, and relax. Very good. Let's go ahead and roll onto all fours for a second. We're going to go a little bit of some cat-cow and then back to those glute bridges. So we're going to blow the air out as you round the back and then arch forward, looking up, breathing in. Back and forth a couple of times here on your own. Round through it, pull that chin in, and then drop that belly button down as you look up. Very good. Last one. Fantastic. All right, taking it back to your back. We're going to start here in about 20 seconds. If you want to start early, you're always welcome to either the first version or I'm going to show the feet elevated next. Back to 45 seconds on this one. So set those shoulders back and down. If you have the feet elevated, you're just looking to drive the heels into that surface. 2, 1, here we go. An option I didn't talk about as well, especially if you're someone that has your feet down on the floor, is you could do a weighted glute bridge where you just hold a dumbbell on the front of your hips, just add a little resistance to that glute bridge. Now, if you're someone that's fairly new to introducing bridges into your exercise routine or into your movements, especially if you have any previous low back pain, then maybe just start with body weight first. 15 more seconds. For those of you that have been here for a while, building into these movements. You could add a little dumbbell, add some resistance to the front of the hips. Let's get one more here, and 2, 1, and release. Fantastic. Taking it onto the side for our leg lift, starting in 10. I'm going to come up on the elbow this time. And 2, 1, and here we go. Point that toe. Good job. Up and down. Think long lines here. Long line through the hip and leg. Good job. About 10 more seconds. Whew. And 2, 1, and release. Very good. 10 seconds till we hit the other side. This will be our last time on this variation. We did 2 rounds of this. We're going to do one more different version on the last round. And here we go, straight up. We're getting ready for some single leg deadlifts and some upper body work. For the upper body work, I'm going to be showing an overhead press. If anyone here is comfortable with a dip and would prefer to do some dips today, that's an option also. Halfway on these leg lifts. Good job. Let's go about 2 more here. And 2, 1, and release. Beautiful. Come back to all fours. A little bit of mobility in between sets. We're going to open up those inner thighs next. So kick one leg out to the side and just gently rock the hip back towards the heel. And use it as a time to open that upper body a little bit as well. Reach those arms nice and long. Drop the head down. Breathe in as you rock forward, and then exhale as you rock back. Couple more. Last one, and then when you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Kick the opposite leg out. Same idea. Reach those arms nice and long. Drop the head towards the floor as you rock back. Very good. Couple more there. Go ahead and finish that out, and then you're going to make your way to your back. I just wanted to show what I was talking about in the last time. So for a little bit of weight, I got a little dumbbell here, feet flat. I would just rest it on the front of the hips and then push those hips up and forward. So same idea, just with that. All right. All right, we're going to get started with the last set of glute bridges here in about 10 seconds. You could do either of the first few versions or join me for the march. 2, 1, here we go. For the march, you hold those hips up the whole time, raise the knees up. You know, there's different versions. You can just do it with the knees up, or you can add a little kick, kind of like the kick. You're really focused here. I've got my arms kind of involved with this brace. So I'm like pushing my upper arms and palms into the floor to help hold the body stable. You want to have as little shift as possible through those hips as you switch from one leg to the other. If you're having a noticeable drop, you may want to stick with 2 legs and just wait a little bit more till you progress to that one leg. Less than 10 seconds. And 2, 1, and release. Before you roll onto the side, just hug both legs in. Stretch out that low back one more time. And now we're going to come into the side for a round of side plank clamshells. So go ahead and roll onto your side. You're going to bend your knees, have the bottom leg on the ground, elbow underneath that shoulder. Top leg is going to hold parallel to the bottom the whole time. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to go hips up towards the ceiling, push that belly button towards the front. Back, back down, hips up, hips forward, firing that glute. You'll particularly feel that glute of that bottom hip. Drive it up, push it forward, back and down. Good job. Halfway through. Nice job. If you feel silly, just laugh, smile. Even if you don't feel silly, you can still laugh and smile. 2, 1, and release. Woo, good job. Same thing, other side. Flip it around. Pull that elbow in. Start with the knees stacked and then just lift that top leg up, holding it parallel. 2, 1, here we go. Lifting up out of that bottom shoulder. Back and down. Hips up, hips push forward. Just avoid arching that low back. You want to keep that midline strong. You shouldn't feel any pinching. Good job, everybody. Straight up, straight forward, back and down. A few more. Stabilize that top hip are working too, holding it up. And 2, 1, and release. Woo. All right, we're gonna go quadruped hip rock. So hands beneath the shoulders, knees are in and touching. And then from here, just like it sounds, you're gonna rock those hips side to side. We've also seen it called the tail wag. Stretching out that low back. Fantastic. Once you finish that hip rock, go ahead and turn your toes under, divide the feet a little bit, place the hands with the shoulders, draw those hips up, push your head between your arms for down dog. Get some nice opening of that mid back. Nice breathing, and then when you're ready, pedal out those heels. Nice calf stretch. Drop one heel down, and then the other. Very good. Once you finish that, just slowly inchworm your way back up. Coming up to standing, let's get some water, and we're gonna get ready for the next piece. All righty. Let's just stretch the upper body a bit before we get started. We're gonna do a stagger stance with a tricep stretch. So step your left forward, right back, take your right arm, reach it straight up, grab that elbow, and we're gonna push that hip forward and bending towards that front leg. So use it as a little bit of a hip opener while also stretching out that upper body. Just gonna pulse here a couple times, side bending. See where the body wants to open. And then when you're ready, go ahead and switch sides. Same thing other way. Step it back, reach it up. And we don't want to arch here. So ribs down, grab that elbow, and moving into a side bend. Very good. And release. Fantastic. All right, so 3 sets. We're going to go about, actually, I'm going to probably do 2 sets today, change it up, because we're going to go longer intervals. So we're working on some single leg balance, standing nice and tall. You'll be hinging forward. If anyone doesn't feel quite ready for this, then you can always do a 1 leg balance with or without weights on that single leg. We'll have a short break. You can grab weights if you weren't using them. And then we're going to go overhead press, pushing nice and tall, or you can dip if you know the dip. That's an option as well. And then we'll go opposite leg for the single leg work. Okay. We'll have a short stretch in between sets, and that will do it. Any questions before we begin? All right, let's go ahead and start on the left leg here in 10 seconds. So with or without weights, gonna place that left foot down, toes pointing straight ahead. Work on your balance here, lifting up, and 2, 1, here we go. Slight bend in that knee. Drive that back thigh up as you hinge forward. Gripping the toe down. Good focus. Standing nice and tall, bowing forward. You can be standing in a doorway or kind of have one arm against the side of a chair to help as well. 30 seconds down. Every time you come back to standing, lift up out of the hips and then bowing forward. Do 1 more, and 2, 1, and rest. Good job. We're gonna take 15 seconds. Your choice of dips or follow me with the overhead press. On that overhead press, ideally we're gonna go both arms together, or if you only have 1 weight, hold it with 2 hands under the chin. 2, 1, and here we go. Midline strong, pushing straight up to overhead. Nice. Just nice, smooth breathing, elevating through the shoulders. Elbows point forward as you bring those weights down. So elevate, elbows forward. That's 30 seconds. We want to watch, we don't want to go sway back, so keep that midline engaged. And you can also think about kind of gripping the toes down, engaging the thighs as well. So you have a nice strong base of support. 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. We're going to go to the right leg for the balance work or that single leg deadlift. Place that foot down, toes pointing straight ahead. Set that posture well, standing tall. 2, 1, here we go. As that chest comes forward, back thigh drives up, and focus to try to keep that toe pointing down towards the floor. Nice and patient here, lifting up through that hip. Very good. Nice, ladies. Try to find a spot to focus on. Lift up each time, reset. Good, that's 30 seconds. Shoulders back, chest tall, bowing forward, standing with confidence. Couple more. And 2, 1, and release. Fantastic. Into set 1 there, we do a little stretch before we go into set 2. Let's open up those inner thighs from a standing position. So we're gonna go wide base stance. Be nice and grounded into your feet. A little bend in those knees. Reach those arms out for your counterbalance. Then we're just gonna go a side lunge here. Looking to open that inner thigh. Grip the toes down, drive that knee out. Good job. Really exaggerate tall chest, so eyes up. Beautiful. Fantastic. Even it out side to side. Grab a drink, and we're gonna get started here in about 20 seconds. We'll be back to the left leg. All right, 10 seconds till we start. Place that left foot down, grip the toes, stand up tall out of the hips, and watch the shoulders too. Even if you don't have weight, shoulders back. 2, 1, and here we go. Bowing forward, find that spot to focus on. Think about like 4 feet in front of you on the ground. Good job, good breathing. So I kind of hold the breath as I lower. So I'm really bracing, really focused. And then as I drive that foot and stand, I exhale. Lifting up out of the hips, bowing forward, standing smooth. Halfway, that's 30 seconds. Lifting up, focusing, gripping the toes. And 2, 1, and release. Beautiful. Going back to that upper body piece next, whether you did dips or the overhead press. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. If you're here with me, pushing nice and high through those shoulders. Smooth breathing. Fantastic. First 15 seconds. Good. Keep that lower body engaged. If you get to where that strict press gets hard, you can give a little dip and drive to finish out the time. We've got about 12 seconds left. Good breathing, holding strong. And 2, 1, and rest. Fantastic. Making our way to the right leg. Last bit of balance work here. Place that foot, shoulders back, chest tall. 2, 1, and here we go. Bowing forward. Think about being as tall as you can from the top of your head to the bottom of the foot. How far can you stretch while having control through your body? Lifting up, shoulders back, and elongate from head to toe. Fantastic, good focus. And just make sure that support leg, we never want to hyperextend that knee. So you should have a little bit of play in the knee, keeping grounded into that heel. We're over 30 seconds in. Good work, continue to focus. Bowing forward, standing tall, maybe one more. Good control. and rest. Good work. All right, set those weights down if you were using them. And let's go side stretch. Interlace the hands, stretch straight up to overhead and bending to the side. Breathe in and exhale as you take it to the side. Let's get 2 to 3 each way. Good job. Last time each side. This time we'll bend and then rotate that downside shoulder just a little bit, peering up towards the ceiling. Nice deep breath, release. And same thing other side, taking it down into the side bend, turn that bottom shoulder up. Breathe, unwind, and release. Great job, shaking it out. Woo! All right, everybody, we just have one more interval to go, or one more piece, right? We're gonna go 4 sets, starting with some squats, 45 seconds. If anybody wants to just do a traditional deadlift, if you had quite a bit of squatting in your world this week, you can do a deadlift instead. Then we're gonna go to the sit-up. Just some reminders on the sit-up. Head touches the ground. I like to see the arms reach to overhead in the top instead of staying crouched. How tall can you sit up? Sitting straight up out of your sit bones. Roll it back, head touches, pull that belly button in as you sit tall. From the sit-up, we're gonna roll it over for the mountain climber. Just tapping the knee towards the same side elbow, holding nice and strong, and then we'll come up to our feet. And the final interval, you can run in place if you'd like to run. You can do a weighted march or a march and punch. So I'm gonna be doing the weighted march, and then we'll just be rolling through 4 sets without any major rest. Just 15 seconds in between exercises. So if you get there early and wanna start, go for it. So 30 seconds, make sure your squats feel good, sitting those hips back, standing nice and tall, get a couple reps in, especially if you're gonna add weights to start on that first round. About 20 seconds till we go. 45-second intervals, everybody, with 15 seconds in between. Starting in 10. And as always, if anybody wants more overhead work, you're welcome to do a thruster. I'm just gonna show the squat. 2, 1, and here we go. Breathe. Nice and smooth. Pace yourself here. First of upwards of 4 rounds. There's our first 15 seconds. Nice job. Nice smooth breathing, keeping those heels planted, driving the knees out. 10 seconds left. Going to sit-ups next. And 2, 1, and rotate. Making your way down. As always, you can start early if you get there. I'm just gonna pull out my little carpet here. Feet flat on the ground. 2, 1, here we go. Sit tall. Let the head relax back, arms reach overhead. Drive those arms, sit tall. Those arms are connected into the torso, so it just helps the body work together. Takes a little pressure off the neck as well, so you're not leading with the neck, puts a lot of strain. Over halfway. Nice and smooth. Good, 10 seconds. We got mountain climbers coming up next. Woo, 2, 1, and rotate. Taking it over for mountain climbers. All right, so focus to take a nice wide handprint. Place those hands right underneath the shoulders. And 2, 1, here we go. Try to have as little shift through the hips as possible. So sometimes on mountain climbers, they get really dynamic. If you have a really strong low back and you want to jump the feet back and forth, feel free. Otherwise, have as little shift as possible side to side. Holding that lower core strong as you bring the knee towards the same side elbow. Breathe. Good job. That's 30 seconds. And then pay attention to the upper body. Don't lock out those elbows. Keep just a little bend. 10 seconds. Coming up for the march next, we're running high knees. This will be our final exercise of the circuit, and rotate. Good job. Find some weights if you'd like to make it a weighted march. And 2, 1, here we go. Stationary or mobile, move it around. March it out, chest tall. And you could always change this up as well. Maybe someone has a jump rope around, they want to do some skipping rope, some jump rope, some double unders. Just some kind of breathing piece here is our focus. Fantastic, that's 30 seconds. Hi Diane, good to see you. All right, less than 10. And 2, 1, and rest. 15 seconds till we start set 2. Back to those squats. All right, set the feet. 3, 2, 1, here we go. So squats, or if you want more overhead work, you can thruster. Smooth breathing. Good. If you're pushing up to overhead, keep that midline strong. Watch not to arch the low back. Fantastic. Heels planted. Beautiful. Woo. That's 30 seconds. Keep focus those eyes straight ahead. Nice and steady. Good, Jean. Great push overhead. Yeah, Sharon. 2, 1. Great job, Diane. We're taking our way down for sit-ups next. Feet flat on the ground. Knees bent. Head relaxes back. 2, 1. Here we go. Sit tall. Up out of the sit bones. Pull that belly button in. Push that low back into the floor as you sit tall. Breathe. Beautiful. First 15 seconds. Very good. If anybody has anything going on that just doesn't quite feel right, you could always sub the tuck up as well. Just working that lower core. If anything's going on with the body, feel free to change that out. Otherwise, a couple more. We got about 5 seconds here. And then guess what? Mountain climbers and rotate. Whew. Mountain climbers, or you can hold a plank, whatever feels best for your body. Nice wide handprint. Place those hands right underneath the shoulders. And 2, 1, here we go. Remember to have a little play in those elbows, having as little shift from side to side as you pull those knees up or knee to the same side elbow. Lots of breathing here. This is where you're kind of compressing that diaphragm each time you pedal those knees up. So it challenges the breathing. And you want to make sure those hips aren't dropping down. We don't want to lose that posture through the upper body. So lifting up to those shoulder blades versus sinking down. Keep lifting up against gravity. Woo, 30 seconds. If you need a little bit of break, if you're starting to sag in that low back, please take a break. You can always come down and just finish out on a plank. Otherwise, almost there. 2, 1, and transition. March, skip rope. Heck, if you have an exercise bike close by, you could jump on that. And 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Skipping rope, dancing, anything for some good blood flow here. If you're following me on the march, nice high knees. Change it up a little bit. You can hold weight to the side as well, kind of like heavy grocery bags. "20 seconds to go. If you want a little bit longer rest before we start set 3, go ahead and rest now. We have 30 seconds till we start. And 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job. 15 seconds. This will be our last time through here. We're going to go 3 sets here today, give some time for a good stretch. All right. Squats or thrusters. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Breathe. Good job. Heels down, knees out. Don't just drop down there. Move with control. And how's your self-talk right now? Are you being kind to yourself and encouraging? If so, great, keep it. If you're being critical, try to release that, let it go. Become your own best friend. How would you talk to your daughter or a dear friend? Couple more, folks. 2, 1. Transition. Sit-ups. Sit-ups or tuck-ups with the lower body. Face this way this time. And 2, 1. Here we go. Head touches back. Arms reach overhead. Sitting as tall as you can. Up out of the hips. And watch the head at the top too. Sometimes you see like this head position. Forward head. Chin in. Lift your head tall. And as always, breathe. Over halfway. Good job. That's 30 seconds. Woo. 3, 2, 1. And taking it over for those mountain climbers. Last time here. Splay those fingers nice and wide, right underneath those shoulders. And 2, 1, here we go. Holding strong through that midline, hips and shoulders as square as you can. Focus your gaze right between your wrists, so chin in, head neutral. And breathe. Almost to 30 seconds. Woo. Keep lifting up, pulling your midline up towards the ceiling without piking your hips. 5 seconds. Come on now, holding strong. 2, 1, and rotate. Good job, making your way up. Find a little piece of cardio here. Marching, breathing, jumping rope, dancing to your favorite songs. 2, 1, here we go. Finish it out. Shoulders back, chest tall if you're doing the carries. Moving around your space, eyes straight ahead. Keep lifting up, so you'll tend to get pulled forward. So keep lifting. That's 20 seconds down. Fantastic. Breathe and move. Woo. 10 seconds. And 2, 1, all done. Woo. Let's set that down. A round of applause. All right, let's go ahead and stretch the calves to start. Find a spot that you can prop your heel up against something. Doorway, chair, box. Heel down, toe up. Just lean into it. If your water's nearby, feel free to grab a drink. Start that rehydration process. And go ahead and switch legs when you're ready. Again, heel down, toe up, and sinking into it. Nice job today, everybody. And go ahead and release there. We're gonna stay standing. Find a spot that you can place the elbow about 90 degrees from the shoulder, hand against the wall or a doorway. Step that inside leg forward, lean into it, and rotating away. And just allow that pec and shoulder, that chest area to open. Focusing your breath into that area, just being intentional about your breathing. And then as you'd like, you can add that outside arm, rotating it through, reaching it up and around. Nice and smooth. Reverse directions when you're ready, taking it back. And let's go ahead and release. Same thing, other side. Again, about 90 degrees, elbow at shoulder height. Lean into it, step into it, and turning away. Allow that chest and shoulder to open first, and then when you're ready, you can add that rotation, reaching up, circling it back. Keep that shoulder moving, that ball and socket joint. We want to keep it sliding and gliding. Reverse directions if you haven't. Rotating it forward. And when you're ready, go ahead and release. Let's stay up on our feet, or if you prefer to take it down, I'm going to go quad stretch next. So place the foot down, balance or support on something, grab that foot, pulling that heel towards the glute. Very good. Good job, everybody, today. We're going to just finish with some figure 4 for the hips. And sometimes you don't notice it until like the next day. We did quite a bit of stability work, so keep your body and hips stretched out. Let's switch legs when you're ready for that quad stretch. Place that foot, stand tall. I'm going to show that seated figure 4 from a standing position, and then we'll take it down to the floor. So if you prefer, you can head down to the floor as soon as we finish this quad stretch. And release. So, the next couple of days, I'll show it standing too, but seated, you just pull your foot towards the opposite thigh, or standing, you can cross that foot over, holding on to something. This is good to do at the gas station if you're like on a long car ride or something. You can do like a figure 4 and quad stretch standing, because we can't always get down on the ground conveniently. Otherwise, let's finish down here on the floor for class. Take your right foot over to the left thigh. Square the hips as well as you can. Reach between your leg. Pull that left thigh in towards the chest. And just hold it here initially, pulling that chin in. Breathe. Great time to relax those eyes back closed. And then as that outer right hip starts to relax, you can add the left leg into it by extending that leg straight up. Point the foot towards the ceiling. Pull that foot back towards your face, and then bend that knee down, hugging the leg in. 2 to 3 times here. More if your body feels that quite a bit. If you're like, oh, I feel a lot of tension there, then maybe do a few more. Encourage that big old nerve that runs down the back of that leg, that sciatic nerve. You want to keep it moving, keep it gliding. So we're just encouraging it to glide along its tracks. Very good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Left foot over the right thigh. And just, again, begin by holding this stretch, allowing that left hip to open. Close the eyes, center your focus on your breath. And then when you're ready, you can add that right leg in. Extend it up, point the foot away, pull it back towards your face, and bend that knee down a couple times here. All right, everybody, thanks so much for coming today. Please feel free to add anything else for your body. Hang out in that stretch a little bit more as you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the recording and hope to see you next time.